By now you might have already been to the internet to Google search for Metroid Dread maps, and chances are you've ran into one of the many guides out there that are just screenshots of the in-game map, a little bit blurry, a little bit difficult to read because it's a Nintendo Switch game and it's quite difficult to make maps of a Nintendo Switch game. Nevertheless, I have done so with some jiggery pokery. Some interesting things to note about this map. The actual in-game map is, as far as I can tell, vector based, which means that it's drawn with the series of points rather than having an actual in-game or rather in-files texture over which icons and stuff are overlaid, which is why when you zoom in and out on the in-game map, the actual border remains the same, I guess just because it is drawn with a series of points per room, and therefore all of the doors and stuff are anchored to a certain number of points. Some of the icons zoom in further and zoom out further, bigger and smaller than others. And therefore you get the maps that I've seen on like Polygon and so on and so forth, which are, you know, really useful maps, but very difficult to read at times. Mine is not based on that, and all of the icons have been scaled to an appropriate size and hopefully, fingers crossed, put in the right places, which took an awfully long time and a lot of cutting and pasting and fixing of things, and there are still some areas where I just could not get the maps to overlay with one another. So, minor niggles aside, what have I done? Well, I've got every single thing, as far as I am aware, every single thing marked on here. So all of the blocks, all of the doors, all of the one-way doors, all of the thermal doors, all of the missiles, all of the teleport points, all of the flowery things that you need to set on fire, all of the different recharge stations, save rooms, energy tanks. I've even got the power-ups, part energy tanks. I've got all the bosses on there, all of the upgrades on there, all of the transport rooms and the different types of transport rooms, all of the different interactables, all of the different door types in terms of barriers. So we've got wave beam, yeah, missile doors, all of the pressure sensors, all of the grapple points, which took a damn long time because they're tiny and fiddly, all of the morph ball passageways, all of the morph ball booster things, power bomb icons, and so on and so forth. Every single thing is on here. What else have I done just to spruce it up a little bit? Well, cold rooms, I've put a little snowflake texture on. I don't know why. I just like the idea of it. Likewise, the lava has got the lava texture from Metroid Fusion or Zero Mission overlaid over it, because why not? And same goes for hot areas. Not only they're just red, they've got the kind of wavy background red as well. There is one other thing that I have done. If we go up to Hanubia, for the most part, when you get to the final save point of the game, which is here before you go and beat the final boss, Hanubia doesn't look like this. This entire section in dark blue isn't on the map. But so that I didn't have to do two different versions of the map, I've taken the escape route sequence, which is, you know, starts off down here with the final boss and makes your way up, through, down here, blah, 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 up, and up through the big door there to your ship at the end of the game. I've put that on as well, which does mean that this section here looks a little bit messy. But there's not really any way around that, because obviously the final version of the map is separate. You can't get back because it's an escape sequence, and you've got like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, something like that, to escape the game. But yeah, everything is on there. Everything is color corrected. I have made sure. Oh yeah, I put water on as well. I've darkened up the background so that the icons on things like the power-ups and stuff are more visible, because one of the things that I did find with the in-game map is that actually the general rooms are quite bright. You know, this is a really bright yellow, this is quite a bright blue, this is quite a bright green. I did find it kind of tricksy to see. Oh, I could do with fixing that border as well. Grapple points were a great pain in the ass because they are also individually placed, so they're not going to be pixel perfect. But that's fine. In terms of, are things clearer than a screenshot from a screen in-game? Yeah. Yeah, they are. Good map in-game. Do you really need an external map? No, not particularly. Might be useful for speedrunners, assuming I haven't missed anything off, but I'm sure people will shout at me down in the comments below should I've missed anything off. But as far as I know, everything is on here as it is in the final state of the map. Obviously, there are some places in the game that change their shape. There are little levers that get flipped, little blocks that get pushed, and so on and so forth. This is all taken from the final sections of the game. So this is where things like this grapple block here end up. Same goes for this triple shot beam. What's it called? Wide beam. That's where they end up. To do this, I ended up literally uncovering every single square of the map. So that was great fun and a little bit time consuming, which is why my main game file is about 18 hours long now. So there we go. As always, if you do want to support my map making efforts, because they're kind of turning into a weird obsession now, you can make a little donation to me on coffee.com. You can enter your own amount. The default amount's just there, just in case you're wondering what isn't working. You can follow me on Twitter. I don't post there a lot. There's just a load of video releases normally. And of course, got the YouTube channel where you have found this. If anybody ever finds this, because of course it's several days after launch now. We're on to what? The 12th of October. So I imagine the top results for Metroid Dread are very much going to be the guides that have already been done that were a little bit blurry. But hey, somebody will find this eventually. And if not, well, I had a blast making it, and that is what counts. So there we go. My full version of the Metroid Dread map. I can't speak and I'm ill, so if I sound crappy, that will be why. Enjoy the map, folks. Enjoy the game. I honestly think it is probably my favourite Metroid game now. Check out my playthrough of the game on YouTube. I'll link that down below as well, and I'll put a playlist thing up in the top right if I remember. Doodle pip.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.